This is the Astros Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Houston Astros, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Now, if you're a lover of baseball games that are a little bit more sexy in terms of run scoring and hits all over the place, tonight's game was not for you. But the only thing that matters is that the Houston Astros find a way to get the victory in this ball game, and on top of it, extend their lead in the American League West to 3 games because the Seattle Mariners lost tonight as the Astros get a great night of pitching out of their team and out of their starter, and we're going to get through it all here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. Hi, and welcome tonight. If you're live with us here on the Locked On Astros Postcast, I'm your host, Michael Connor. Thank you for stopping by, spending some of your time on a Friday night with us as we wrap up the Astros 2-0 win over the Los Angeles Angels, a team that you absolutely should beat, correct? I think we would all agree to that. But you know what you have to do is you actually have to go out there and do it. And even if it wasn't the prettiest in terms of run scoring in this game, they got the win. That's all that matters. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. So what if you had to dial it down to one thing in this game that you're talking about more than anything else, what is it?
This is what you'll be talking about.
Christian Javier needed that. The Astros needed that out of him in the absolute worst way tonight. 6 innings of, tell me if you've heard this out of Christian Javier before, 6 innings of shutout, hitless ball. Yeah, it's because he has done that literally twice in games where it ended up in those games resulting in no hitters being thrown. Tonight doesn't end up that way. The Angels did find a way to eke out 2 hits. They also found a way to eke out 3 walks against Craig Kimbrell. I'm not going to spoil our positivity by reminding you Craig Kimbrell was available for a reason. He was available for a reason. You just hope and pray that it works out. But Javier is what you're talking about tonight. The Astros have had their issues. We know this, of getting starters to give you any kind of length. And Javier has struggled with that since he's come back. You know, he's coming off of a major surgery. It's not going to be perfect when you do come back, but he's 4 starts in now, and without a doubt, easily his best start, obviously. First start against Boston was 5 with 2. Second one against Baltimore, 3 with 1. He came out because he was not feeling well. The last one was just so inefficient against Baltimore in Baltimore. 5 runs in 2 innings. 3 of them were earned. And then again tonight, 6 innings of shutout, hitless baseball. And it's a good reminder of who he is. Because, I mean, I'm not saying that anybody forgot who he is. He is a little bit of a under-talked about aspect of the Astros' success throughout the years. And really that 2022 season, one of the more unheralded guys that was out there for them winning a World, let's say unheralded, and the guy literally started what was a no-hitter in the World Series and did that in the regular season that year as well. But he's not a guy that talks much. You don't hear from him. He's not out there, so he doesn't get like national love or anything. I think that's what I'm trying to say here. And this team has 2 guys that are ace quality on it, in Fromber and in Hunter Brown. And they've needed a third badly. And I think the hope always was that the third would come back and it would be Christian Javier, and he'd slot right in there and he'd start figuring out. And maybe, just maybe, this is the sign tonight that is going to come for him. Did walk 3, pitch count at times early was, got up there a little bit, but he settled. And that's what the best pitchers always end up doing. They settle into the game, they find their way. 85 pitches tonight for Javier, 51 of them for strikes. But it's all about building back, correct? And that was a big stepping stone for Javier tonight. A stepping stone that the Astros needed to see out of him. Because we've talked about a lot of things. Offense, look, again, not great tonight, okay? At the core, what the Astros do and what's made them great for the last few years, really, I say last few years, for a lengthy period of time, has been at the core of it, they are elite at run prevention. That starts with great defense, and that starts with great pitching. Without a doubt, they are beat up in that bullpen. The bullpen should scare you still. Scares me to death. There is not going to be one moment of the bullpen that I'm going to breathe easily. I think that's pretty common when you talk about bullpens in tight games in late season and then into postseason scenarios where you're never going to completely trust what they're able to do for you on a given night. And that's definitely the case right now. But if you can shorten the game enough with three guys that are going out there and doing it in a short series consistently, you'll have a chance to win all those games. And if you can find a fourth guy that does it, even better. They've had a fourth guy doing that recently, of course. Jason Alexander has been tremendous. It's going to be interesting to see how they do this whole bullpen thing with McCullers. I know that they're saying it's short term. I don't believe a word that they're saying. I think he's out there for the rest of the season. If he can give you something out of that bullpen, that'd be great. Maybe it's a piggyback type of situation with Luis Garcia coming back. Who knows? Who knows what it's going to be? Of course, Mondays, unless I missed it, I was doing the Texans show earlier, so I did not get to catch pregame comments from anybody in terms of if there was a starter announced for Monday. It didn't look like there was a starter announced for Monday, but that's the obvious, thing that could happen is that Luis Garcia comes back for that one. But again, the development tonight, we'll talk about the bad offense in a second. I say bad offense, just offense that couldn't do anything. Javier was tremendous. And I think it's easy to get caught up in all the little things here and there. Like I said, the negative, Craig Kimbrell loaded the bases, walked three guys. Okay. Yeah, they didn't score barely anything tonight. They look kind of anemic up there at the plate. Okay, got it. That's a huge positive. That was a huge positive for them. Win number 75 on the season. Like I mentioned, Seattle coughed one up against the Guardians tonight. Walk-off for, I think it was Stephen Kwan that hit it. And the Astros extend their lead in the West to 3 games. Little breathing room. Don't forget, when you think about the schedule moving forward, it's looming. You got the rest of this series. You got 3 against the Yankees here at home, at the Rangers, at Toronto, at Atlanta, home for Texas, and then that final series against Seattle is coming up the 19th through the 21st. And I'm going to be honest with you. You'd like to go into that series with at least a 4-game lead in this division. You got the room to do it. Now it's all about going out there and doing it. They've gotten it back to 3. Don't let it slip back to 1, 1.5, whatever. Keep it right there. Now, let's talk for a minute about the offense, and then we'll take a look at tomorrow's baseball game as well, as they're going to look to pick up win number 2 of this series, which is a 4-gamer across the week, and we'll talk about it here in just a brief moment. Locked On Astros Postcast. First up, what are you doing paying for gas? Are you still paying full price for gas? Well, stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up with the free Upside app. Simply download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now and start earning cash at the pump today. Use my limited, promo code SEASON and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You can make up to $300 a year from buying gas that you need already. How nice is that? At first, I thought it was too good to be true, but it's totally legit. Real people are getting paid to make their daily commutes. You can too. Plus, you can cash out at any time to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app now using my limited time promo code SEASON for a limited time 25 cent per gallon bonus. That's promo code SEASON. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions. And one more message before we get back to our discussion on the Astros winning tonight. Let's talk about your money. My wife and I were doing a little bit of this during the game tonight, going over bills. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there is Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Monarch is built for people with busy lives, like me. If you've put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can link all of your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel free and in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. Don't let your financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONMLB. Astros take down the Los Angeles Angels tonight, 2-0 the final, pushing their lead in the American League West to 3 games over the Seattle Mariners, who lost tonight. Hate to see it. Love to see it. The absolute best as the Astros keep winning when they need to. They did that yesterday. They got that series victory. Hey, I got to give a shout out right now. This is a guy that I love to hate on. Now, look, I don't love to hate on anybody, but there's just, you know how you guys know this. You're fans of the team. You watch the games. There's always a player or two on every team that you just don't really like, even on the great teams. Like even the 2017 Astros, Lou Gregerson. Lou Gregerson was that guy for me, without a doubt. 2022, I was a Mauricio Dubon hater when he first got here. Absolute hater. And you know what? I came around. It took me a while, but I came around on him. I got to see his value over time. But that 2022 season, when he came over here and hit 208 and they're playing him a bunch, I'm like, what are we doing here? Also, Jose Siri. Pitching-wise on that team, Jake Odorizzi. They traded him, and I would say Standing didn't fit that mold that year. Man, it's really hard. That team was so good pitching-wise. I mean, so good. God, you ever want to go down a rabbit hole looking how good a team was pitching? Go look at the 2022 Astros, and you find one guy. Is that right? 2 guys that did any pitching in games with an ERA over 4, or that even reached 4. And that was Ronel Blanco, who pitched in 7 games, had a 7.11. And then Pedro Baez, who pitched in 3 games, that had 11.57. Everybody else was under 3. The entire roster, team ERA that year was 2.90. Stupid good. No wonder they won the World Series. I say all of that to say that Caleb Ort tonight, he has been that guy for me, for sure. I have not been a Caleb Ort fan at all. All right, look, most of the time he comes in, he's not very good. He's got an ERA on the year that's got to be. I mean, I know the ERA is not everything for relievers. I don't want anybody to think that I think that that's how you evaluate the relievers completely. But 436, he's been a guy who just comes in, walks people, just gets guys up. There's traffic all the time. His whip is 1.3. That's not good. And for a guy that's got 98, he doesn't get a lot of strikeouts. He's got more strikeouts than innings pitched, but it's not like elite strikeouts. Tonight, Caleb Ort came in there and was absolutely filthy, and he got the save on top of it. So props to you, Caleb Ort. It's not good enough for this.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
That goes to Christian Javier tonight for 6 innings, shutout, hitless baseball. But a special appreciation night for Caleb Ort. I'm Caleb Ort's number 1 hater. Probably not his number 1 hater. He just doesn't. I'm never comfortable when he pitches. I'm also not comfortable with the offense. Let's just say that right now. They didn't do a lot tonight. Now, I'm not going to belabor a lot of time on this because, look, they won. At the end of the night, that's all that matters. They scored more than the opponent, 2-0. They got the victory. You got 2 hits out of Pena tonight, 2 out of Altuve, 2 out of Walker. Obviously, Correa had the big blow there, the line drive over there to right that gave the Astros the 1-0 lead. They manufacture another one in the 8th, and credit to Jordan there. Hey, you know what he's going to do. He is better at this than anybody else on the team. When there is a situation to drive in a run like that, with a runner on third and less than 2 outs, he's going to find a way to get the ball into the outfield in the air and get the run home, and that's exactly what happened. They could have had more. They should have had more. Of course, you had the bases loaded situation earlier in the game where, of course, Yainer Diaz out there flailing at the first pitch he sees outside of the zone, rolls one over to third base, and they get an easy step on third, throw it home, get Correa out at third. That is the one thing from this game tonight that absolutely drove me absolutely insane, was that at bat by Yainer Diaz. What are you doing, dude? Just take a pitch occasionally. You don't have to swing first pitch every single time. I get so frustrated because I expected so much more out of him this year, and he has been overall abysmal. And we know that. His OPS is just barely over 700, like by 0.01. Runners are scoring position tonight. The Astros were 2 of 14. They left 13 men on base. That can't happen again tomorrow night if they want to keep winning baseball games, because I will say this, there is, they got to have a little bit more than that. A little bit more. Be great if they, occasionally scored some of those runs when they got runners in scoring position. So, just had to say it tonight. But again, you got the win. That is all that matters. Okay? 2-0. 75 wins in the season. And here we are talking about this team with a 3-game lead in the division. And there you go. We will be back again tomorrow night when the game wraps up. It's a 6:10 first pitch tomorrow night. Just want to make sure I confirm that right now. Yes, 6:10 first pitch. Make sure that you come right back here to this channel to join me as soon as the game ends for the Locked On Astros Postcast. You guys have a great rest of your Friday night. Celebrate responsibly. We'll talk after Game 2 of the series. Locked On Astros.